Hello? Okay. Cool. So it looks like we've got it all started up. So welcome back, guys. My name is Jeffrey. I'll be going over some commonly asked econ questions for both micro and macro. We'll be going over the right answers, why they're right, and also going over a previous tutor's answer to make sure that they also got it right. That being said, we can just jump right into this first question. So the first question says that the labor force participation rate measures the percentage of the, and answer choice 1 says total adult population that is in the labor force. 2 says total adult population that is employed. 3 says labor force that is either employed or unemployed. Or 4 says labor force that is employed. So let's break it down, right? So the definition of labor force participation rate is calculated by dividing the total number of people who are actively involved in searching for a job, aka qualifying as a member of the labor force, divided by the eligible population, normally a specific age range of adults who are not, who are not held back by any conditions from engaging in the labor force. So that's the way we calculate it. And so we have to look at which one of these answer choices is going to be the best measurement of that calculation. So 1 says that the labor force participation rate measures the percentage of the total adult population that is in the labor force. It's a pretty good answer, right? Like, I would improve this answer by saying that it's not necessarily just the total adult population. I would say it's the total eligible population, because there are some adults who still wouldn't qualify or wouldn't be able to engage in the labor force for some reason or another, right? So, but by and large, this is going to be a good answer choice, but we can take a look at the other answer choices. Number 2 says total adult population that is employed. So the percentage of the total adult population that is employed. So we have to remember that labor force participation does not distinguish between whether or not you are employed or unemployed. It simply measures the total number of people in the labor force. The labor force composes all people who are employed and unemployed, right? So to divide the number of employed people by the total adult population would be to underestimate the labor force participation rate, because the unemployed people are still considered a part of the labor force. So 2 is going to be incorrect. 3 says labor force that is either employed or unemployed. And so this doesn't really make sense if we connect it back to the STEM. It measures the percentage of the labor force that is either employed or unemployed. That would be 100%, right? Because the labor force is simply composed of the sum of the number of people who are unemployed and the number of people who are employed. So if we took that as a percentage, it'd be 100%. So this would not be correct. Number 4 says the percentage of the labor force that is employed. And so again, this would be more so the this would be like the employment rate rather than the labor force participation rate, because you're dividing by the total labor force instead of the total eligible population. So answer choice 1 is still going to be the best answer here, and it says that the labor force participation rate measures the percentage of the total adult population that is in the labor force. Let's take a look at the previous tutor's answer to see what they got. So the previous tutor said 3, the labor force that is either employed or unemployed. And so again, we're going to disagree with this answer, right? Because given that calculation, the percentage of the labor force that is either employed or unemployed is always going to be 100% by definition. So that's not what we're looking to measure with the labor force participation rate. Now let's take a look at their explanation to see why they reached that answer choice. They said that the labor force participation rate measures the number of people actively involved in an economy as the workforce. It's a ratio of the aggregate of all workers employed and unemployed, but actively searching for employment in the economy, to the total number of people in a non-institutionalized civilian working age population. That's so far correct. It is an indicator of an economy's active workforce, and it's crucial to the analysis of unemployment and employment data of the economy. It excludes institutionalized people and people from non-working age populations from its calculation. This metric is representative of the proportion of people who are working or are looking for work out of all the people who are a part of the economy's labor force. So actually, the rationale behind their explanation basically makes sense, and it is correct. It's just the final answer choice that picked that as incorrect. So the correct answer is answer choice 1. Answer choice 3 would always yield 100% because the labor force is the sum of all employed and unemployed people. The correct calculation for the labor force participation rate is the total number of people in the labor force divided by the total eligible adult population. This matches answer choice 1 the best. Okay, and then the solution is incorrect because they got the wrong answer choice.